Hi, my name is Tiffany Lee, and I am proud to be responsible for the Everybody Votes campaign, providing free public transportation on Election Day. My first memory of voting is as a child. If we were lucky, maybe my mom would let us vote on what we were having for dinner. On the playground, my friends, they would vote on who's going to be the sports team captain. In the library, our teacher might let us vote on which book we're going to read during story time. At a young age, Americans are universally taught that it is our right to vote, and we took comfort in knowing that our voting would always be democratic and the results undisputed. Now, as an adult, I still believe that my vote carries weight. The right to engage in the democratic process is so sacred that Americans tenaciously fought for 93 years, breaking barriers of both gender and color to get equal voting legislation passed. The right to vote is so powerful that 151 years later, the United States still suffers from political and social unrest regarding your vote, my vote, our vote. But we must not give up. How many of you have heard the saying, if you care about something, then hold on to it? Well, the late Congressman John Lewis warned us, if we fail to exercise our right to vote, we can lose it. Through the Everybody Votes campaign, I propose that cities with public transportation systems, including the New York City Metropolitan Transportation Authority, provide free ridership services during voting hours on Election Day, November 3rd, 2020, and every annual presidential election day thereafter. During the August 19th Democratic Convention, former 44th President Barack Obama shared his views on the importance of voting. In a democracy, the right to vote is sacred, and we should be making it easier for people to cast their ballots, not harder. I challenge New York to see the value in my campaign and act as a trailblazer by making it easier for citizens to cast their ballots. Once New York has set the tone for prioritizing access to voting polls, I hope that other cities across the nation will revisit their budgets and make a way to follow suit. We have seen that it is possible for MTA to provide free bus services to New York City residents. In response to the coronavirus pandemic, for the health and well-being of New Yorkers, free bus services were provided for 5 months. It is worth noting that the free bus rides did cost MTA a loss of approximately $159 million in lost ridership fees. While that number is nothing to snivel at, the cost of one lost vote in this November's election is priceless. If New York City can provide busing for 5 months, then elected officials nationwide can figure it out for the most important day to our democracy, Election Day. Because in the long run, voter suppression could cost Americans so much more than $159 million. It could cost us our livelihood, and literally, it could cost us our lives. Everybody Votes will positively impact voter turnout by addressing voter access concerns of low income, accessibility, city planning, and absentee ballots. The week of August 15th, there were 1,106,000 unemployment insurance claims. New Yorkers made up approximately 414,000 of those claims. With numbers like that, it is safe to assume that New Yorkers are forced to prioritize securing necessities such as gainful employment, food, and shelter. On Election Day, people might find the $5.50 round-trip transit fare to be better spent on essential items. Items like a small carton of milk and a box of cereal. Items like feminine hygiene products, mandated face masks, over-the-counter prescriptions. Perhaps they want to save it on the off chance that they need a round-trip ticket for a job interview. Many New Yorkers simply do not have $5.50 for a MetroCard when primary needs are not even being met. As a person who recently suffered a debilitating back injury, this bullet point is especially meaningful and personal to me. Even if a person's polling site is in their neighborhood, that does not mean it is easily accessible. If you are healthy and fit and spry, then good for you. God bless. But if you are someone with a disability, if you're an older adult, if you have issues with mobility, if you are someone who is suffering from the side effects of recovering from the coronavirus pandemic and experiencing things like shortness of breath and weakness, walking 2 blocks to your polling site can feel like a 5K uphill battle. The comfort of knowing that you can sit at the bus stop and catch a free ride, even if it's just to the next bus stop, can be a huge comfort for people wanting to exercise their civic duty. Trust me, I know just how meaningful that free bus ride can be. During New York City's June 23rd election, MTA experienced unexpected mishaps that resulted in multiple documented train delays. It is speculated that these train delays prevented numerous poll workers from opening voting sites on time. Citizens that attempted to vote before heading to work or before dropping their kids off at school had their morning thrown into chaos. This year, people do not have extra money to purchase additional train rides or bus transfers to ensure that their vote is cast despite the unexpected MTA delays. It is in everyone's best interest for the city to be proactive in making sure that poll workers and voters have easy access to alternative and free methods of transportation on Election Day. Due to the Postmaster General's alleged attempt to dismantle the U.S. Postal Service just months before the presidential election, I believe that nationwide, people have lost faith in the Postal Service's ability to process absentee ballots in a timely fashion. If my predictions are correct, despite requesting ballots months before the election, voters, through no fault of their own, may never get their ballot. At the last minute, voters will be forced to figure out how to get to the polls on Election Day because they couldn't trust the post office to do their job. If someone's ballot does not arrive in the mail, we want to discourage people from experiencing voter hopelessness and forfeiting their vote. Instead, we should be encouraging every vote by providing accessible methods of transportation. Despite anyone's ability to pay transit fare, we need everyone's vote. As a country, we are in a sad place when Americans watch politics as if it were reality TV. We watch for theatrics and entertainment that is void of consequence. But there are consequences, serious ones. For those people still unmoved by facts, quotes, and critical thinking, for those watching this video and still looking for a form of entertainment, I offer you song lyrics penned by Lin-Manuel Miranda and his co-songwriters from the hit Broadway musical Hamilton. You cannot get better entertainment than this. And if you don't agree with me, then perhaps you can debate with the 11 Tonys who insist otherwise. The lyrics to my shot read, "These New York streets get colder. I shoulder every burden, every disadvantage. I have learned to manage. Don't be shocked when your history book mentions me. I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot." While those lyrics are in no way associated with my campaign, I do hope they will motivate you not to throw away your shot at making a difference during this election season. For the moral, logical, and even musically poetic reasons I have outlined, please sign my petition. follow us on social media, and let's make sure this election season, everybody votes. Thank you.